Hey everybody, how you doing? This is about to be a really fun video. This video, we're comparing some pretty powerful blue lights and ones with, in most people's minds, don't drop a lot. So you can be powerful like a 500 Jeffrey or a 450 Bushmaster, but that power doesn't last to extended ranges. When we talk about powerful yet still flat and good for taking on out there to some extended distances, people normally think of 7mm mag, 300 Win Mag. Well, here comes these PRC guys. Well, we started talking about PRC because I just got this barreled action Howa 1500 in 300 PRC. So, a bunch of you guys started asking me a bunch of questions about why 300 PRC? Why don't you just get a 7mm Remington Magnum? Or why don't you just get a 300 Win Mag? You don't need a PRC. So, you guys know I literally read every comment and I answer every message you guys send me, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all of it. I answer it all. And you guys have been sending me a ton of those messages. And since I did not know the answer off the bat, I had to go study it myself. I spent the past 2 days off and on putting a bunch of numbers into this video, doing all the drop calculations by myself. Spent a lot of time on this video. But here's why. Because I didn't know the answers to give you. Well, now, after doing this video, I know the answers. So let's just look at a couple really quick. Let me get them out of these boxes. And I will say, by the way, all valid questions, right? All valid. When people ask me, just right off the cuff, I want something with a lot of boogie that doesn't drop a lot, I normally say, hey, get you a 7mm Remington Magnum. But now, we got 300 PRC. Does that change the game? Well, we're fixing to talk about it. But in this video, we're going to talk about 300 PRC, 6.5 PRC, 7mm mag, and 300 Win Mag, all in the same loading. If I put these all side by side, if I hold the bottoms of them all the same, two are pretty close in overall length, but one is longer. That one is the 300 PRC. You can see the 300 PRC projectile is considerably longer. I'm not talking about the case. I'm talking about the bolide up here. Look how much longer it is. Then, this is a 7mm mag, and this is the 300 Win Mag. Those are talked about in the same arenas a lot, compared all the time. I actually have probably 10 videos comparing 7mm mag versus 300 Win Mag. You type that into the interwebs, you'll find it. Type in whoteewho, 300 Win Mag versus 7mm mag. These float your boat. You'll probably love those videos. But these, whatever floats your boat. If you want a 30 cal or a 7mm, go for it. But again, there's the 300 PRC with that long boo lot, with that long baby. That means we can get some really good BCs, which will translate into really good not dropping, which translates into can go further with less dial and less holdover. So all that being said, just eyeballing it, the 300 PRC, you can definitely tell the difference. It's not, oh, it's the same as a 300 Win Mag. Not really. It is, but it isn't. Looking at the case themselves, pretty close. If you just had the cases sitting there, most people would probably have a hard time telling the difference. Now, the 300 Win Mag does have a belt on it. The 300 PRC does not. But all that being said, I've already been rambling for a long time. Let me get these put back in the right boxes, and we're going to talk about what we're going to talk about. And like I said, I've been getting tons of messages from you guys, which kind of churned my curiosity. But what really put me over the edge was, hey, if we're going to take a deer with the 300 PRC, what ammo's out there for it, right? There's not a whole lot out there for it, but let me show you. This is the two different types of 300 PRC factory ammo I've been able to find. 225 ELD match, and then the 212 ELD X, which is the Precision Hunter. I have taken deer with Precision Hunter. Let Let me go ahead and show you. It's a higher BC hunting round. If you didn't know any better, you might think that that's a match round, but it's not. A little bit different projectile construction in the ELDX from the ELD match. But we've been talking a whole lot. I don't physically have a 6.5 PRC, so I don't have any ammo for it. I'll show you side by side, but let's talk about drop. So if you're not huge into nerding out on this stuff, I'm going to give you the short story. If you're not going past 1,000 yards, it doesn't really matter. So 300 Win Mag, 300 PRC, 7mm Remington Magnum, 6.5 PRC. If you're not going past 1,000 yards, it really doesn't matter. That's the facts. That's what the numbers are going to show. But if you're trying to go out to a mile, yes, it matters. Matters quite a bit, actually. But if you're not going past 1,000 yards, it really doesn't matter when it comes to drop. When it comes to drop, let me make that clear here. When it comes to drop, we'll do another one talking about specifically energy. We're not talking about that here in this video. For this video, we're talking about drop. That being said, let's nerd out for a second. Look at the numbers. So let me pop up the picture real quick of the match. So Hornady loads match in 300 PRC. The two loadings of 300 Win Mag. They don't load match in 7mm mag, but they do load it in the 6.5 PRC. So if we pop up the little graph here that I made for the Hornady match, look at 1,000 on that drop. At 1,000 yards, all those lines are stacked right on top of each other. That means it doesn't really matter. If we go to the 1,000-yard column here for the match ammo, 300 PRC, 225 grain, drops 267 inches. The 300 Win Mag, 195 ELD, drops 280 inches. So it's within a foot of drop at 1,000 yards. Only a foot of drop at 1,000 yards between the 300 PRC and the 300 Win Mag. It doesn't make a difference, guys. If you're inside 1,000 yards, it doesn't make a difference, period. That's the facts when we're talking about drop. So that's the 225 grain 300 PRC match and the 195 300 Win Mag match. The drop is within a foot at 1,000 yards. Let's keep going down at 1,000 just for the sake of talking about it. And again, I didn't say it yet, but this is sighted in at 100 yards. You know, a lot of people, if you got your long range stuff, sighted in at 200 or even 300. I sight in everything at 100 yards. That's just the way I do it. Then we go down to the lighter match loading, 178 grain ELD. Is still only dropping 284 inches, which is still within a foot and a half of the 300 PRC. Then we go down to the 6.5 PRC, which is 147 grain. It actually is the flattest to 1,000, but even still, that's within a foot of the 300 PRC at 1,000. So a foot does not make a difference when we're talking about 1,000 yards. So between the 300 PRC, the 300 Win Mag, and the 6.5 PRC, all of those at 1,000 yards, the drop is roughly within 2 foot of each other. That's super close. I would not have guessed that, but that's what the numbers say, guys. So now you say, okay, man, with the match stuff, to 1,000, it doesn't matter. If you're just out there doing some target plinking, you know, hey, whichever one makes you happy, go with it. But when we talk about at a mile, this is where the PRCs shine. The 300 PRC wins at a mile with this 225 grain ELD. It drops 1,214 inches at a mile. And for you mil guys, which is me, that is dialing for 19.2 mils at a mile. And the 6.5 PRC is very close, very, very close, within about a foot and a half, looks like almost. Actually, 15 inches of drop at a mile. Which again, at a mile, 15 inches doesn't hardly matter. But the 6.5 PRC dial in mils at a mile is 19.4. Also worth mentioning, and I put it up here on my sheet, the PRCs with the match ammo, the 300 PRC and the 6.5 PRC are both supersonic out to a mile. And the two 300 Win Mags loadings are subsonic at a mile. And you'll see the numbers there. Also, the 300 Win Mag, considerably more drop at a mile. What is that? It looks like 1 over 250 inches more drop and 1 over 300 inches more drop. So 300 Win Mag fails at a mile in comparison to the PRCs. So just looking at the match ammo, hey, those PRCs are awesome at a mile when you compare them to 300 Win Mag. Now again, Hornady doesn't load the 7mm mag in the match, so what do they do load it in? Hey, we got some right here. They do load it in the Precision Hunter. And a big shout out to my buddy who sent this stuff in, Brad. I appreciate Brad. I won't say your last name, but you know who you are. And I know who you are. I appreciate you. Brad sent me in this 7mm mag. Couldn't have done this video without you. So, a lot of you 7mm mag guys have been saying, PRCs don't matter because my 7mm mag does just as good. Well, when it comes to some of the hunting loadings, that might be a fair statement. Let's look at the numbers. So, Hornady loads this Precision Hunter stuff in the 300 PRC. I got some. If I can get on a deer, I'm going to smoke one with it. And it'll be awesome. They do load the 212 ELDX in 300 PRC for 300 Win Mag. They load a 200 grain and a 178. For the 7mm mag, they load this 162 grainer. And for the 6.5 PRC, they load a 143 grainer. Now let's look at the chart again. It's kind of a similar picture, guys. They're not stacked quite as tight at 1,000, but at 1,000 yards, they're all pretty close in drop. If you look at 750 yards, they're all stacked right in there. Who hunts past 750 yards? And that's what this stuff is, Precision Hunter. It's literally in the name, Precision Hunter. Who hunts past 750 yards? Not a single person I know. And I would even argue myself, nobody should hunt past 750 yards. You know, it is what it is. Maybe if you've proven yourself and sent, 500 rounds down range and you can get them all right in there and proven it, maybe go for it. But I think most people probably will be with me. Just get closer to that animal. Things are different. If you're starving and your kids need to eat and you're spraying and praying because you can't get close, to an elk and your kids are needing food, that's a different story. But I don't know anybody else in that boat either. But anyways, back to the numbers. Similar situation with the Precision Hunter. 750, the discussion when it comes to drop is irrelevant. 1,000 yards, they're spreading out a little bit more. We get to 1,250. Hey, then we're really seeing some differences. But for the Hornady Precision Hunter, we're talking about 5 loadings here. Let's go to 1,000 real quick, the drop. For the 300 PRC, 276 inches. The 300 Win Mags, 294, 282. 7mm mag, 265. And the 6.5 PRC is 262. So you 7mm mag guys, which, hey, that's me too. I like 7mm mag. The 7mm mag loading in Precision Hunter is right there tight with the 6.5 PRC at 1,000 yards. The drop is within 3 inches. And the 7mm mag in Precision Hunter at 1,000 yards drops less than the 300 PRC. So far 7mm mag is winning over 300 PRC. And pretty much tied with the 6.5 PRC. Go out to a mile, which is what this PRC stuff is kind of for, extended ranges. Look at these colors. Green means good, red means bad. So, 300 Win Mag, again, at a mile. Whoop! Can't touch this because the PRCs are so much better. But, look at that. The 7mm mag at a mile is right there tight with the 6.5 PRC. So the 6.5 PRC wins, but not by much, only by less than a foot at a mile. So in Precision Hunter, 7mm mag drops less than 300 PRC. Now 300 PRC is still close. It's within 2 foot of drop than 7mm mag, but for these loadings that they load in Precision Hunter, the 300 PRC takes 3rd place. 2nd place, 7mm mag. 1st place, 6.5 PRC. So specifically for the Hornady Precision Hunter, 6.5 PRC drops the least amount. Also, I'll put it up here. The mil dials are here for the Precision Hunter. Boom, I'll pop them up. They are all subsonic at a mile. Now, Hornady loads, I don't have any. I haven't seen it on the shelf, but they're loading this newer one called Hornady Outfitter that they are loading in these 4 cartridges that we're talking about. So I went ahead and put them up. They're lighter, which means they're going to be a little bit faster at the muzzle. If you're up closer range, I might pick a lighter one. Generally speaking, if you're going far out, pick a heavier one, and if you're not going as far out, go faster. Some people argue with that, but is what it is. I'm gonna pop up the picture again here. Boop. For 300 PRC, we're talking about 190 grain, 180 grain 300 Win Mag, 150 grain 7mm mag, and 130 grain lighter 6.5 PRC. So let me pop up the picture. Same picture, guys. 750 yards. The curve is still pretty flat. All those are stacked in close. 1,000 yards starts to change a little bit. These are lighter with some BCs that are not quite as good. But at 1,000 yards, 300 PRC is winning. And then all the way out to a mile with this Outfitter, which I don't know why anyone would be using this Outfitter hunting ammo at a mile, but just for the sake of having the numbers up here, the 300 PRC wins by far. The mil dial is 22 mils at a mile. With the 300 Win Mag, it's almost 30, and the 7mm mag almost 30, and then the 6.5 PRC is 27 mil dials at a mile. But hey guys, that was really quick video. Like I said, I spent a bunch of time calculating all of this data and all these lines by myself. Went over it quite a bit to make sure that I didn't mess anything up. Generally speaking, let me kind of summarize this. In the match stuff, which is what people typically like to pick up if they're doing some 1,000-yard stuff. 6.5 Creedmoor, a lot of that stuff. That's what people want to pick up off the shelves. At 1,000 yards, with these heavy hitters, 300 PRC, 300 Win Mag, 6.5 PRC, with the match stuff, at 1,000, it doesn't really make a hill of beans. Pick up what you want with the match stuff. But if you're going out to a mile, that's when the PRC really makes a difference. It's a difference of 19 mils at a mile, or 24 mils or 23 mils with the 300 Win Mag. Considerably different at a mile, these PRCs, than the old school 300 Win Mag. Now, if you're talking about hunting ammo, I showed you guys in there, the 7mm mag actually beats out the 300 PRC at a mile when it comes to drop. Again, nobody's hunting at a mile. But that's just what the numbers show. Again, even with the hunting ammo, out to 1,000 yards, it's really stacked in there. Now, we're talking about drop. We're not talking about energy. There's probably already 500 comments down there. Oh, but the energy is different. I don't know that part yet because I didn't study it and crunch the numbers yet. All I know so far, in my study of my own personal study of the 300 PRC over the last couple of days, is the drop. I got the drop knowledge now. Anytime anybody asks me a question about this stuff, I'll just shoot them this video and say, check out the data. Or if you're really feeling froggy, email me and I'll send you this file and you can play with it. Happy to do that too. With the hunting stuff, 7mm mag actually beats the 300 PRC, but not by enough to really matter. It's still really tight in there. Even at a mile, it's tight in there. And then that Hornady Outfitter stuff, again, out to 100 yards, or 1,000 yards, the drop is still pretty close. But again, nobody that I know hunts at 1,000 yards, and most people would probably argue that you shouldn't hunt at 1,000 yards. So, is what it is. That's the data, guys. I could talk about this stuff all day. The only two to stay supersonic at a mile are the PRCs with the match loading. But you guys can freeze this, check out the data, go back and rewind it, pause it on whatever parts you want to check out some more. Appreciate you guys watching. Comment down below which ones you want to see deers taken with. I'm trying to do as much hunting as I can. Let me know which one you want to see more deers of and which one you want to see us take long range. I'm going to try to take all of them long range. If I can. I've already done long range videos with 7mm mag. Have I done? I haven't done long range 300 Win mag yet, I don't think. And then obviously we're taking the new 300 PRC long range and going to try to hunt. But comment down below what you want to see more of and what questions you have. We're going to do a part 2 talking about energy. Crunch all these numbers again, and we'll talk about energy. But there really is something to this PRC stuff out past 1,000 yards. But hey, there's the data. Thank you guys for asking. Appreciate you guys coming along with me. I'll catch you on the next video. Make sure you're subscribed. We got videos coming out every day, and we got the best viewers on the interwebs here. Appreciate y'all. We'll see you on the next one. Hooty hoo!